Aquarius, this is your September 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this reading might resonate. It's Romy. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me and tune into the channel. We're going to open up this month with the energy of the Lovers. And Venus is going direct on the 3rd. I think you've learned 3 really valuable lessons in the last few weeks. The first being we need to leave people where they are. Also, that not all actions need a reaction from you, and accepting situations for what they are is incredibly liberating, but also doesn't mean that you are bound or stuck to the energy of that. And I think as you really contemplate through this month of September, kind of what you've gained, and it really is about understanding what you've gained from what's now gone, because that acknowledgement is helping you to evolve from a lot of the lessons. Now, the Lovers for me always offers us a choice, and there may be something on your mind in regards to what you want to commit or to devote yourself to through the course of September. I keep getting this word through for you, which is serenity. And, whether that's something that we can consistently maintain, not always so easy with the sheer amount of flux, energy and discord and all sorts of things that you might be trying to navigate. But ultimately, it's about trying to cultivate this existence for yourself that creates a more balanced, harmonious, peaceful frequency. And you have built the endurance for that over these last few weeks and months. Now, you may still find that there's almost like this sense of things feeling a little bit out of focus, just like when you're trying to sharpen a camera lens through September, because we of course still have Mercury retrograde through to the 15th, and Jupiter's also going to take a backspin the day after Venus goes direct on the 4th. Remember, when Jupiter goes retrograde, all of the expansion is taking place within us. You don't need to keep this perpetual quest of trying to find yourself. You're right here. What you need to do is reveal yourself under the layers of all of those false stories. And one of the most important approaches that we want you to consider through this month, Queen of Pentacles, I see you incredibly focused on this, is the idea of needing to act as if, nothing is out of reach for you, Aquarius. And it's not always conducive to focus on how far we have to go to get to where we want to be, or to manifest, or to start seeing the reality of that which drives us, the passions that are kind of igniting within us. But Jupiter retrograde helps us to consider the thoughts that we think, the energy we express, and the way that we show up in our world as if that life was already ours. And if you can create an entire strategy just around that through the course of September, it will be incredibly transformative for you. The lights are at amber and they're turning to green. Each experience is leading to the next. Now, on the 8th, we've got this beautiful trine between Sun and Jupiter, and I think there's a blessing here. You're returning to something that you love, and you're doing it, with a sense of deep appreciation and gratitude. This is harvest time, remember. And there's an opportunity through 8th house, as we work into Virgo season for you, to really consider where you want to merge, who you want to bond with. And Mars and Libra is also kind of activating that within you. Partnerships powerfully on the agenda for you. Strategic alliances, people that really have that same field of resonance for you. But your Queen of Pentacles tells me that if you can even get yourself into a state of being that courts abundance, remember abundance being across the board, all things, not just financial, that you are really starting to shift and change the frequency that is around you. And as each experience you have leads to the next, September is about just taking the next step and the one after that. And it truly is one of those times where all of these tiny decisions are adding up to something really powerful and profound. So when you get to the end of the month, you're going to surprise the hell out of yourself in terms of how much progress you've been able to make, how much you've changed, how your self-awareness has kind of opened something up in a way that really helps you to understand and connect the dots. Our King of Swords, along with the Queen of Pentacles, I really like this sort of combination. You know, these two energetic guides, the archetypal conversation that they bring to your door is definitely one of focus and one of kind of practical endeavors to sort of move meaningfully towards that which you desire. You have to keep investing into your transformation in a way to let go of the expectation of how you think it's going to change your life, Aquarius. Now, the goddess Pallas Athena is moving out of Virgo into Libra on the 13th, and we also have Vesta shifting into Cancer. These themes are going to bring in very innovative, creative solutions, and they remind you, along with Mars and Libra, that diplomacy is your greatest asset through the course of this month. You might find it a little bit easier to find that middle ground. King of Swords is an incredible negotiator, doesn't miss a trick, absolutely has all of the knowledge, all of the insight, and casts like a real beady eye over things, so you won't miss anything. And that's powerful, especially through a time where, you know, sometimes these retrograde energies can kind of confuse or have things go missing or lost. I still feel like you're being guided to see exactly what you need to see, and in conversations or any important discussions or negotiations, you know, you're coming across well and you're being able to find the words and know what it is that you need, because everything, as I said, sort of feels like it's underpinned by this idea of you trying to kind of cultivate a more serene, peaceful, balanced existence. Now, Vesta in Cancer is really putting some focus around being incredibly protective of your inner circle, your family, your soul family, your own ideas, your creativity, your sense of security and stability. And, you know, whatever that looks like for you, however that translates for you, I do think you'll be making quite strong decisions and putting some really firm boundaries in place to ensure that protectiveness kind of follows through. The energy of the world coming up here, of course, sort of indicates that the cycle and the season is changing, and we know, you know, we're coming into a period where we will celebrate equinox later this month on the 23rd, and, you know, Mother Nature, Earth shows us how to transition beautifully. We just need to witness and observe the sunrise and the sunset. We need to just open up to how equinox and solstice, how astrological conversations planetary wise, how the lunar phase, all of these cycles help us to keep moving forward. And you are moving forward in September, and I think it's really important that you hear that and you truly feel that for yourself. You're coming across from me in September with an energy of feeling more capable and kind of finding a new rhythm and routine. You know, it might take a little time to have that new sort of implemented strategy, if you like, feel comfortable, and it might take other people around you even longer to adapt to that. So kind of give yourself a little breathing room of the next few weeks to truly feel the benefit of it. But I think the adjustment needs to happen. At the same time, we genuinely need to celebrate and reflect upon where we've got, you know, and where we've come from. And it's almost like your will, it's your will that's going to kind of give you the energy, this like incredible force of nature through September to overcome or initiate or sort out whatever it is that arises. Chariot and the World, yeah, I just, you have this kind of like tailwind, I think, that's supporting you. Now, the new moon in Virgo comes in on the 14th. The next day, Mercury shifts direct. We also have the Sun trining Uranus, and I quite like the conversation that Uranus is having this month. Of course, it started its retrograde at the end of August, and, you know, this sort of surprise energy that comes in around that new moon seems to me to validate something that you were anticipating or intuitively already kind of feeling into. And, you know, with the Chariot, it's like, okay, it's now or never. And you might not feel fully ready. In fact, you know, to a certain degree, a lot of the pieces might still be missing. The resources might not yet be available. Your energy levels might still be a bit questionable. Like, there's all sorts of reasons why you could talk yourself out of something. And yet, I still feel you just kind of throwing a little bit of caution to the wind and going, okay, like, I need to kind of get moving on this. And I think, you know, just that first step is so important through the month of September. You've got to give yourself permission to do that, because this is the sort of, you know, it's the action that sort of allows the transition to take place and allows you to fully step into kind of what the new path is going to feel and look like for you. So when we get to Libra season coming in on the 22nd, and we're going to be, you know, enjoying that beautiful equinox energy, you know, where the sun crosses over the celestial equator. And, you know, of course, it's an opportunity to sort of rebalance and reflect and release, especially as you think back on the last 6 months and what's taken place since the equinox in March. The Ace of Cups tells me here that, you know, your discipline, however you've been expressing it, is such a powerful message of your own self-love and respect and appreciation. And really it's consistency that is absolutely key and vital for you. Like, you understand that whatever it is that you're engaged and involved with, whatever it is that you're trying to kind of prioritize this month, the growth of a relationship, something connected to your work or career, your health, your family, it doesn't matter what it is, like, through that consistency and discipline of your intention, you are starting to see the fruits of that by way of like a new beginning, a new seed of potential, and just genuinely the feeling from a heart-based perspective that you're showing up in your truest, most authentic energy. Now, of course, Ace of Cups lovers coming through for me does also indicate that I think for those of you that have really been struggling around relationship dynamics, as Venus goes direct, there's definitely an opportunity to sort of have some more meaningful discussions where the love still exists, where there's still something there, even if you feel like you're kind of missing the mark and you're still kind of to a certain degree speaking a different language to one another, or there's been a lot of water under the bridge and it's hard to kind of get to that place of forgiveness. There's a truce-like energy, I think, through September, perhaps not till October and we're out of shadow, that you actually really start to kind of make meaningful kind of healing, reconciliation, improvement, you know, decisions, commitments coming through. But certainly September just feels like it stops a lot of the, you know, more challenging, toxic kind of energies that might have been sort of banded backwards and forwards. You know, for others, it will have been an opportunity to kind of really strike out on your own and just kind of give yourself time, an opportunity to sort of spend, you know, with yourself, by yourself, for yourself. And in that kind of exploration, shall we say, there's so much new inspiration that's landing. And I really love like the feeling of this coming in for you. Again, that Ace of Cups for me just brings in this serene quality. So around that equinox, I feel like you're zenning out a little bit, and even though, you know, these energies can feel a bit sort of disconcerting, we can take a few days to kind of recalibrate, if you like. You are showing up in an energy of intentionality and discipline and consistency towards your own needs. And I think as you direct that towards what it is that you want, and remember, like I said, looking at this strategy of acting as if, there is this incredible understanding as we work with the polarity of the me versus we, right? You know, we're coming into eclipse season next month, and you know, we're really starting to explore that and the kind of belief systems and the karmic stories that are being brought into the light for us. But I think there's a willingness for you to kind of allow things to a certain degree to take their natural course through this month. And, you know, the full moon that's going to arrive in Aries right at the end of the month on the 29th kind of packs a punch. You know, we also have Mercury trining with Uranus the next day. So similar to the new moon, there's this kind of deliverance of something a little unexpected. This one definitely coming through by way of a conversation or a message being delivered to you. Remember, the full moon brings about that revelation. There's also the need to act quite quickly. You know, Aries sort of wants us to initiate and to move. And it's like we have to create space for some things. So around that end of the month, as you get that information, like the onus is on you as to what you're going to do with it. If you just let it sit there, it sort of almost like burns a hole in your pocket. It's just like you have to do something with it. You have to act on this, okay? And even if it takes you a few days just to kind of process or figure out how you want to deal with this, that's important, all right? So our soul journeys this month, we have a brand new equinox energy activation. And in the shadow, we're going to be exploring your intentions and your why. The reasons why you want what you want, but going much deeper, making the unconscious conscious through that shadow exploration. So really powerful journeying. And you can find these over on the website, as well as the link for my goddess energy report. So if you're interested why or how Pallas Athena, how Vesta, we also have Ceres shifting into Scorpio on the 15th, you know, how they all affect you in your own natal chart, please check it out. Now, if you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards, Aquarius, we cover off in the extended version of the reading. And I put some clarifiers down just to see the direction that we're going to be taking that extended reading. Talk for another 30 minutes. We'll also explore a personal question and a relationship card for you there. So if the reading resonates and you want to find out a little bit more, please do join me. Link is below. Let's see what we have here. Another Ace of Cups. Beautiful. The healing is coming through nicely for you this month as well. It's just like you're given some respite, some space to breathe. Moon in Judgment's quite a strong message there. 7 of Wands. 3 of Swords. Let's look at this Chariot. Okay. At 4, just slightly trying to slow down the Chariot. You know, that's why I feel it's sort of amber going to green. You know, we're just kind of gearing up and prepping. But the new plans that are kind of formulating in your mind, you know, there'll be a sense of urgency or a kind of desire for you to kind of really want to get moving, especially toward the end of the month and you're feeling into that full moon Aries energy. Okay, so let's have a look at our oracle cards now. So this is Life Soul Vision, which is my own deck. So again, if you're just new to tuning in, you can check this out over on my website, along with my other sacred title, Moon Musings. These are creations that I have invested in for your own soul journey. So please have a look. Waterfalls of White Light. We have Karmic Cause and Effect. Detours from the Divine. We've got Sacred Soul Union coming through here. Spirit Bear, Ancestral Protection. And Waves Crash and Stars Fall. Okay, let's have a look at the Crow Oracle. Okay, you have the energy of commitment coming through this month, Aquarius. We'll explore that in the extended. And one more for you for September even. Okay, we have the Otter and the Cattail Peace. There you go. There's that serenity showing up again. Beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Have a beautiful month of September. If you're joining me for the extended, I will see you there. And you take care until next time.